Yeah, big worms, George.
Good size, eh? Not bad, Lee.
Great bait.
Not bad.
Today, it's all about beach worming. George and Joey Trinkler, they're the gurus of it. I'm here for a big lesson. But there's more than just the beach worming. It's all about looking after them and then keeping them for future fishing sessions. Now, George, a big stinky mullet,
Yeah.
scaler bag, and a knife.
And some pliers.
And some pliers.
Yeah.
Because these things are exceptionally fast. I've never actually managed to catch a worm.
Well, hopefully today's your lucky day.
We could be here for a while. All right, what's your process?
Well, the mullet's going to be what we call the stink bait to get the worms to come up in the sand and show themselves. And then we also need a bait in our hand to tease them. The best bait is pippies, which Joey's already been down and grabbed a couple of pippies.
Why do you like the pippies?
I guess because it's a natural
Yep.
beach.
And they're pretty firm when they're
Yeah.
fresh.
And they just love them.
Yep.
They just love the bit of the pippy. So these are a bit small, but it's all we could find. But if you can't find a pippy, you can also use, and it doesn't have to be mullet, you can use any sort of fish bait. You can even just use a pilchard when they're thick.
Yep. Nice.
You can cut the belly flap off.
Now, George, I know when we were worming when I was little up at basically just north of here, the guys would always try and get their bait to be, they'd leave it out so it stunk and it was rotten. But I don't know, fresh is always best.
Yeah, I don't like the smelly stuff. I'm sure it'd work, but it gets a bit soft.
Yes.
That's one thing we like about the pippy for your hand bait.
Yep.
It's nice and firm and they can bite onto it. Same as the belly flap is nice and firm. So we'll cut a few of these up.
So they'll be hand baits.
Yep, there's my hand baits.
Don't know what I'm going to do with it.
We'll get you catching them today, Lee. Cut that up so it leaks a bit of the oil and smell and that out of it. They're quite an oily fish, the mullet. They're an ideal bait for this kind of thing.
And pretty tough as well.
Yeah. So you don't have to put it in a net. You can put it on a bit of fishing line or a bit of rope.
Yep, that's just easy.
Yeah, it's just, often we use fish frames of whiting or whatever we're catching on the beach.
Sure.
And then what we need is a worm wench to be in charge of that.
That sounds like me. Pretty simple formula, just wash it back and forth on the edge of the waves here. And George, we are 2 hours from low tide.
Yeah, roughly 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's sort of prime time. It's obviously hard to do it on the high because you'd be up here.
So we'll look at, so we'll get the low tide going down, and we're also looking for a fairly level bit of beach.
Yep.
So it's not like a steep drop off or anything like that. We want it quite a flat bit.
Okay.
We'll have a quick look here. If they're not here, we'll just move up the beach.
Yep, beautiful. There's one.
There?
Yep.
Just going to tease the worm up with the mullet. We're going to pin him with the pliers, like that.
Yep.
Pinch him underneath with my fingers, and just slowly try and get him up without breaking it.
They're big worms, George.
A good size, eh? Not bad, Lee.
Great bait.
Not bad. Catch dewies on them later, hopefully.
Absolute primo surf bait. Do you find they're usually in patches, George?
Yeah. There's a heap of them just here.
Yeah.
Try not to walk on that area.
Yep.
We're just getting to the right part of the tide now. So as the water recedes, see them all here, you can just see the heads popping up here everywhere.
There's 3, there 4.
There's a heap of them. Get in there like that, see that? There we go. Just hold that well, I've got the rest of them. So there is a bit of an act to it, so they're getting the smell as the water recedes there. Then we get them on the bait, and you try and get them before they arch. As they arch,
Oh, you want to get them before they are?
as they arch, they're about to go down. So as they go to arch, you've got to hit them.
How long did it take you to get good at that?
Long time.
Yeah.
A really long time. I had a mate though, he said, I'll come with you and I'll get you catching them in no time, and we come right to this part of this beach. And he had to catch them in 20 minutes.
George, do you reckon it's important to be like always above your bait? Like,
Yeah, you want to stay up as high as you can.
so they're not smelling us?
Well, it's not that, it's you don't want to be working in the water.
Yes.
So you want
shallow as you can.
And that's why we pick these flat areas.
Yep.
Because you get long periods, like you get the wash to come and burl him up, and then you've got a bit of a long period to work with.
Yep.
To chase the worm, whereas like the steeper bits are constantly wet. There's constant wave action. There's water all over them. It's a lot harder to get them underwater than it is when you get this little nice little break in between waves. You know.
You don't see that every day. And we are not at Fraser Island. And there's a dingo.
Oh, it was close.
So fast.
Close.
That's so fast.
Just watch Joe grab another one. You're getting really close.
Yep.
It's just that execution. You're getting all above sand now.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's how you do it.
There we go.
Mate, that looked pretty easy, George. Here we go. Joey's got one too. It's like a snake.
Mine was bigger. Mine was heaps bigger.
It's going to be an unlucky worm if I get it, mate.
It's like he's blind in one eye. You might have half a chance.
That's what I need. No legs, no eyes.
Disabled worm. 2 heads.
Preferably dead. Smart ass.
Righto, stop showing off.
No, keep going, it's fine.
Come on, you're nearly there. Let's get one. So we're basically using that to tease the worm up. And then when he goes like that, gives you a little bit more to aim at. They just arch like this.
And it's about to rip his
Which
piece
means
off.
he's bitten the piece off and he's about to go down. You got to hit him then. Nice one, Joey. Glad we brought you,
Let
mate.
him go. The thing I hate about beach worming is when you got the knack and you get the knack for it, it looks so easy, but till you get that knack, and it takes practice, it's just not. If that was me, I'd be at about 6 misses and 3 heads by now.
So that spooked then. I don't know whether it saw that bird or something.
Yeah, maybe. Hang on, just like that.
So that's how we used to start the kids on them. Used to get them like halfway out
Oh,
and pretend that you didn't see it. Let the kids come up behind you and grab them. I don't reckon you could catch one if I threw it at you.
probably not. It'd probably wrap around my head like a snake and bite me.
No.
Oh, for Oh.
Grab the his head with the pliers. Grab it.
I'll miss one more for you, Clarky.
We'll say see you later, Lee.
Oh. Anyway, that's beach worming 101 from these two.
Are we going fishing?
We're going
Oh,
fishing.
thank for that.
I tried so hard. I learned a lot though, like the whole, that was good. So George, we mentioned before about preserving your worms, keeping them in the cold sand, but there's one more thing you like to do.
Yeah, so if you have a few left over,
Yep.
this is a great way to preserve them.
And this is when you see them in bait shops and things like that.
A lot of the
bait freezers.
tackle shops, like the really good tackle shops that look after
Their bait.
and their customers and that sell live or fresh worms, will often have these in the freezer. And this is what they do. It's a bit of methylated spirits. Okay. Now this doesn't only preserve the worms, it toughens them up a little bit,
Okay.
but it also makes them really pale.
Oh, does it?
So to compensate for that, we sneak a little bit of red food colouring in there.
And then I've got to set the timer for 1 minute.
Yep.
Okay, and start. There we go. Swish that all around. It's a great thing to do too, because otherwise you get your worms, if you don't use them all after 2 days, they're no good, so you end up wasting them. This is so good.
They'll keep for years like this in the freezer. There's no real set time, usually a minute, no more than 2.
Yep. All right, there we go. That's the timer.
Righty-o. And normally I'd be doing this at home in like one of my wife's salad bowls or something like that and getting them out with tongs. But
And Jude would love that.
yeah, we're on the side of the road, we're on the run, so we're doing our best today. We're just in between fishing, so we just lay them out a little bit like that. Anyway, basically we just dry them off a little bit.
I suppose it makes it handy too for the fact that when you need to get worms, you've got to go at the low tide, and you can't always get there
That's
to
right.
get the worms, but then you want to fish on top of a high tide, say, so.
And honestly, like, feel that, you can feel that's toughened up.
Oh wow, has too. Yeah, that's perfect.
And it lasts forever. Honestly, I believe that it's just as good a bait as the live ones.
So easy.
There we go.
Oh well, we've got a few more to go, George.
Yes, we do.
There you go, guys. That is how to cure beach worms. You can also do it with sandworms, but as always, check your regulations in your state because they will vary, just so you're not doing the wrong thing, taking too much bait.